the night, draw in the middle of the night for tomorrow. So I'm gonna get high and then draw. So join me. What did everybody else do this evening? I did absolutely nothing. I went home and everything's strange there, sketchy and weird. So like, I just like got high and packed up like some weird stuff and pet a cat and ate popsicles. Does anybody else like have an opinion about popsicles, like firecrackers versus bomb pops? I mostly live off of popsicle brand firecracker popsicles, and like bomb pop, I think they're like the generic version of bomb pops, but bomb pops are more of like a sherbet, almost like a soft ice creamish kind of thing, as where popsicle brand ones are just like frozen ice, like chipped ice or some shit. I like it way better because I shave it off with my teeth. It's the shit. So that's my story about that. Anyway, I mostly just eat popsicle brand, popsicle, bomb pops, and whatever. I got a return client that I see regularly tomorrow, or I guess it's like later today. It's technically, I don't know, like 3 in the morning, but that's like, it's still today for me. So, you know, it would be tomorrow or whatever, but she comes in pretty often and is getting like several tattoos, I think. I never really know what I'm supposed to draw. So I go give it a look, you know, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I was supposed to draw, but I'm pretty sure it was like multiple pictures. Let me tell you a story, I guess. What kind of story would be really good? Okay, one time, one of my friends and myself were kind of spun out and went to the mall with a different friend of mine, and we were so fucked up. Like, I was ditching work. It was like when I was an apprentice, and so like this is when I still like worked at a Hot Topic in Naperville, and like I was supposed to be at work and I didn't go to work. We got all fucked up and came to the mall, and like I ran into one of my sales associates because I was like a part-time assistant manager or something like that at that time, and I ran into one like working at the, what's it called, the fucking Santa Claus hut, because it was like winter time, and we walked out there or whatever from my place, and but I was like so fucked up I couldn't talk. I couldn't form sentences or make words or anything. I was just like, she's like, I thought you were sick. Why aren't you here? I was like, like, so, like, we took a picture with the Santa Claus. I guess I'm missing part of the story where we were all fucked up. We were at the mall. We were in the FYE in the food court, and my friend was like removing his clothes because he was too sweaty, and I was like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And he like ran into somebody that he knew, like a client of his, and fucking he was trying to navigate through that conversation unsuccessfully. So we're beelining it out of the mall. We're going up the escalator when my friend that's not fucked up points out the Santa Claus, who waves at us, and we wave back, and he's like, come on, can't we take a picture? I'll pay for it. So we go back down and go take a picture with the Santa, who looks horrified that we're coming back. Like, oh no, I should never have waved to them, right? And that's when I see that fucking girl, and I can't fucking talk, and we sit down with the Santa Claus, we get our picture taken, and that guy looks so fucking uncomfortable. I still have the picture hanging up in my room, and like, the second we stood up, he's like, I'm going on my break, and fucking he got the fuck out of there. And we kept going back every week for like a few weeks or some shit like that. Again, like, you know, just partied out because it's like day off or something. And Because what else are you going to do on your day off or whatever? You know, there's like nothing going on. Unless there is something going on. You know, I don't know. There wasn't anything going on, just skateboarding around. So anyway, I ended up at the mall, like, because there's like no place else to go. And so we'd keep seeing that Santa Claus, and like he'd see us and like turn his head away, like he didn't want to make fucking eye contact. Like, please God, don't come back over here. It was awesome. So there you go. There's a story for you. I could have told it more colorfully, but like I didn't. So maybe I should have. Who knows? Probably barely see me anyway. Anybody else feel depressed and lonely constantly? I know I do. It's a real problem. My mom suffers from serious depression and has dissociative identity disorder, amongst a myriad of other things. And so life was weird growing up, and left me feeling vulnerable and frail. In a number of ways. It wasn't really the only thing going on. There was certainly something going on. Something of note. Worth mentioning, right? So, at any rate, I know she feels that depressed. I know I've got like aunts and people in my family who also are suffering a great deal. But I sometimes wonder if just like you out there, my new best friends from YouTube. I mean, I know my other channel has like the thing where I'm checking the doors obsessively, but then it was like under like my name, and I didn't want it associated with like my work and stuff like that. So I made this other one so that if you do that, maybe if I just start posting the OCD ones on here, like, or like me checking the door obsessively, this will be the channel that like people will pay attention to, and people might see these videos instead of them being so super secret. It's like right now they're just like, no one knows they exist, and then I'm not doing anything that anybody's like seeing, so nobody's ever gonna know this exists, which is fine. I guess that's what it's all about. Just trying to get stuff off my chest, or have an outlet, somebody to talk to, since I'm so desperately alone. Not that I don't have associates and friends and bandmates and stuff like that. I've got all kinds of people to talk to, but I can't talk to anybody. Everything's kind of really weird right now. Nobody gets to know anything about my life because it's all so private, and everything is so intrusive. So the way that like people already know too much and talk too much, and it's also delicate, and I'm just trying to like navigate my way through life at all. Hey, I hope I'm not a painful bore, and I hope that anybody watching this in the whole world enjoyed this video. I guess we could smoke a cigarette together too, now that I'm done with this joint. That might be fun, huh? Maybe you could draw with me. You know, in a large part, a lot of these videos on this channel or my other channels, or any of this that I'm doing, which I've already explained to some degree in some of the ones on the other channel, is just in order to fill a void that's left by me not getting to talk to my ex-girlfriend, who I spent a couple years just like endlessly, constantly talking to about every little minute detail of every day of my life. We're just hanging out and talking. Like, I've never talked to somebody so much on the phone before, because normally I don't like talking on the phone. And so while I do, I guess, send people video messages and voice messages and things like that, I don't really spend as much time on the phone as maybe some people will do. And for that person, I did spend like an unusual amount of time on the phone, like so much so that now 2 years out without that going on, I feel like this great void, and I can't really figure out what to do with my time. like reinvent myself in the way that, I mean, there's all this other stuff that I do, that I can do, that I've spent a lot of time doing. Clothes, art, music, things like this. But I don't know. Do you ever just get in a mood? Transitional times are fertile ground for great change and great improvement. And I saw this thing talking about change in people's lives, and he was talking about the tides coming in and out, and fishing. When it was this story about this guy relaying, some older guy telling him, and he was trying to fish and he wasn't getting any catches or something. I don't know anything about fucking fishing. And the old guy said, you gotta wait till the tide goes out or something and comes back in, and that change is stirring up the plankton or something. The fish go crazy and they're just pulling out tons of fish when they throw their line in. The moral of the story was that you got to have your line in at the right time to get great rewards. And the time of change, when the tides are going in and out, is actually the best time to make sure you don't turn down any opportunities, make sure you keep your ears and eyes open, and open to new experiences, and not be stuck in the same old thing, and blah 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 blah, all this sort of shit, because that's the time when you might find that great change you're looking for, your new path. But all of that hocus pocus sounds like bullshit when you're fucking bummed out, you know what I mean? When you're feeling sad and you're not able to find joy in the things that you like to do, and it all makes you depressed, and you're just feeling fucking angry or alone or weirdly desperate and miserable. And what is a bunch of fucking good sayings worth, shit, jack shit. You just feel oh yeah, that's good in theory. It's not working for me, of course, but it's good in theory. Though I am always trying to put the best foot forward. I'm the type of person that takes serious the power of magical thinking, in the way that I constantly am trying to utilize the 7 hermetic principles against one another and in tandem to generate a positive reality for myself. Now, I think that if you get all caught up, it's like the cause effect, you're going to make those reactions with your actions, and on a quantum level everything's so entangled that you don't even know what kind of ripple effect it's going to have, the most minor of things that you do. So when you do things with a lot of intent, which I did to generate the situation that arose that caused me all the troubles that I'm having at the moment, and so if you're using the power of magical thinking to create exceptional experiences for yourself, you can't be thrown off or too bummed out when they have consequences and reactions. And it's like the swing of the pendulum to the left shall be matched by the swing to the right. If you think about rhythm, you're going good times are coming or bad times are coming, whichever it may be. So if the times were so good, then clearly the bad times were coming. But now that the times are bad, then I should just really soak it up and find that great inspiration and that new path as the good times are coming through the power of positive mental attitude or something, action. That's really what it's all about. You could talk all day, but if you don't do the actual work, you just sit around pontificating about how you could do this or you might do that forever. But I'm gonna try and maybe I will. It's just a setup for failure. You gotta be I'm doing it. I'm going to do that. I will do that. Not that anybody's watching this or anybody cares. what I think about anything, but I'm just trying to have a nice conversation with you because I've got nobody to talk to. Maybe I'll make a video, like I said, of me drawing, or maybe I could make a video of talking about the Temple of Psychic Youth, or sex magic, or sigil magic, or I can make videos talking about making music, or how to make music on my Game Boys, or my Nintendo DS, or any number of other things that probably shouldn't be making music, but I'm making music on them, like broken tape players and VHS machines and shit. I really like utilizing the studio as an instrument in large part too. I think that's a lot of fun. Everybody has like a home studio. I have like, you know, the last stage of like analog digital with like, I mean, I have a bunch of different multi-tracks in my studio, but I like to record on ADAT, which is like fun and feels like old school, and you can slow it down on tape and shit, and runs to a mixing board and all of that fun shit. But I know everybody is using inbox stuff and Pro Tools, and I record with bands that do that, certainly. Because that's more efficient and blah, 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 blah. But I don't know, I'm just used to using weird tape machines. It's like a lot of fun. It like feels like you can slow them down and make them like rad and strange sounding. Use them as like a weird instrument, you know what I mean? Though those ADATs are finicky as shit. You know, if you try and slow stuff down while it's playing, it'll fuck with you. You gotta like slow it down and then play it or whatever. So you can't use it to like do quite the same stuff that you could with like a cassette multi-track. Like people fuck with multi-tracks and make ambient drone music, like with Tascam 4 tracks and 8 tracks and stuff like that. Try and get like a vibe just by recording on there. I used to record on those all the time when I was a little kid.